What you need to do is be thankful for the life you got, you know what I'm saying?
They send pressure. Mayfield evades. In trouble. Stiff arm. Throws. How did he do it? First down.
Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line. And the ball is caught. It's a miracle. It's celebrated. Oh, my goodness. This town is going crazy.
Goff protected. Another completion. Another short one. Bouncing off the tackle is Montgomery. What a catch and run. Still going.
Welcome everybody to What's the Play. I am Corey, also known as Mile High Money on Twitter. I am joined, as always, by the great and famous, amazing NFL GOAT capper, Lucas. Lucas, how are you tonight?
I wouldn't say that about myself. Maybe I would sometimes, but I'm doing good. How are you, Corey?
I'm great, and I don't need you to say it because I'm here to say it for you.
Another good NFL season. I could say great, but man, season flew by. Can't believe we're already at the end.
Yep, it's really flown by, unfortunately. I was kind of looking in my notebook here before we got started, just at some of the plays and stuff, and man, it takes a lot of work to kind of go through what we do to, put these plays in and get the reads that we get for the people and everything. But you know what? I think it's worth it because we're going to put that work in for ourselves anyway. So I think it's great to kind of come on here weekly and, if anything, give people ideas, give them reads that we feel are relative to the game so we don't need everyone to agree with us, but we're just here to kind of give our opinions, and both of us kind of got a proven track record of NFL success. So I think that's, important, and we're going to continue that with the divisional round this weekend. Tell me your thoughts on the wild card weekend. What did you think overall of, quality of games and maybe just outcomes, I guess? Did they go as you expected? I kind of there's one there I'll assume that you're going to say kind of you didn't expect, because I didn't either. But, what's your thoughts over last weekend?
Yeah, so I'm just short of 50 units. I'm at 49 units. It was a good weekend. I went a little extra on Justin Jefferson on Monday night because he's my favorite player, and I figured if he didn't score, we're not betting him again. But we were both very right about the Rams. The Rams are very clearly the more prepared team, the better team on Monday night.
Yep.
Kings just did not have a chance.
And the thing that we talked about, I think at quite a bit at length, was that just how good the Rams truly were, and that if they really hit where their offense was on and their defense was on the same night, that they were a dangerous, dangerous team. And I tell you what, if I'm the Eagles, I'm not feeling great. I would not be feeling great because if they come out looking like that, it is going to be a battle for them. Now, especially because I think, if I'm remembering right, the Eagles had was it the left guard got hurt or something like that, or was it their center? I can't remember. Maybe it was a different team. Oh, maybe that was the Vikings, I think, now that I'm thinking back. But, I guess actually the broadcast kind of said it really well in the fact that this was supposed to be a rebuilding year for them and their defense especially, right? You lose a guy, a main piece in the middle there with Aaron Donald, and their defensive line looked great last week. I don't know that they're going to look that great this week against the Eagles, who have a good offensive line. But you also got Matt Stafford on the other, and that guy is a baller, seasoned vet, much like Jalen Hurts. So it's going to be a great game, I think. So I guess, did the Vikings outcome surprise you at all? Or, just
Not
with
really, to be honest.
yeah.
I mean, the
I
talk was,
thought
the Rams are 10-7, the Vikings are 14-3. They've had such a great season, and they really did have a good season. But
yeah,
you gave Sean McVay 2 weeks to prepare, and he's going to get his team ready. He still didn't look like he
yeah.
had an extra week to prepare. They were ready for the Vikings.
They really were. I thought maybe the Vikings would look a little sharper than they did.
Well,
I
sure, I
don't know.
expected a little more offense.
Yeah, both you and
Jefferson
I
have
have,
one catch in the second half.
yeah. I
That
guess
just
that's
can't
kind of
happen.
where I'm going with that is what surprised me is they didn't really force feed Jefferson as much as I thought they would. And they got pressured so much. I know you were talking about it, just how bad Darnold was seeing ghosts out there because, one of the plays I gave live was for Aaron Jones over receiving yards. And man, my read was dead on that because the very first play they ran out of that first half
Yeah, chances. Yeah.
was a dump off to him. But Sam Darnold was so fucking out of it. He couldn't make the easy plays. He could not make them. He's over there missing these easy drop-offs by practically a goddamn mile. And I'm just like, man, that even with all those misses, I think I caught his line at 14.5 and he finished with 12. So he still damn near got it with those terrible throws from Darnold. So it's just the read was there. Unfortunately, Darnold seeing ghosts as you mentioned, live, I guess, in the game. So I think the only game that really kind of surprised me was Tampa Bay losing. I didn't think when it come down towards the end there, I thought the more veteran team was going to win in the Bucs, and that just didn't prove true.
Man, they had that one fumble deep in their own territory.
Yep.
I think they're up 17-13 at that point.
Yeah.
Late in the fourth quarter, and then they had that 2nd and 1 and had another busted play.
Yeah.
I mean, the Buccaneers, I feel like they're certainly the better team, but just 2 killer mistakes you can't make in the playoffs.
Yeah, and then you get a doink in for the win where the day before, or I guess not the day. Yeah, it was the day before, Saturday. Yeah. The Chargers, right? Yeah, was it the Chargers doink one off? Yeah. Or maybe it was the Broncos. No, it was the Broncos earlier in the day. That's what it was. They doinked one off right before halftime that would have tied it up at 10-10. That's right. So, they caught the lucky bounce there. Now they're present, if you will, to get to go to Kansas City, right? I think they play Kansas City. Or no, that's Texans, sorry. They get to go play the Lions. So that's, that's going to be a really hard game. But yeah, other than that, I think the plays that we gave out and the reads were right on there. Just to kind of recap some of the plays that I gave out Dobbins receiving yards that I wanted to try and catch live. Unfortunately, he picked it up in the first quarter before I could try and live bet it, but he went over that line anyways. I locked in Bo Nix over 24.5 rushing yards. Easy. He got in the 40s. The play that you and I both liked was Hurts under rushing yards. His normal line was 37.5, and then I caught it live at 52.5. Not a problem. He even also went under the attempts, which was the original thought that I had. Looking back at that, the only thing I guess I thought that I think that we missed in that play was his under passing yards. Coming off a month, essentially, of not playing, probably the easier play was the under passing yards because he went under that by a mile too. And then obviously both you and I liked Rashad White's receiving, which again, he picked it up, but I played the ladder and he didn't get much past his normal line. So good, a good weekend overall, I think. And now we move on to the divisional round. And I think there's a lot to like here. So maybe just, I guess, is there anything else you want to recap from last weekend?
Yeah, I don't think anything surprised me. I feel like everything that was supposed to happen happened. I feel like Tampa Bay and Washington was probably the closest game on paper, which the spread indicated. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the better team probably didn't win. I feel like the Bucks were the better team, but it was very close and just
Yep.
two terrible miscues. The difference. I mean, good for
The only-
Jaden Daniels. I'm a Jaden Daniels supporter. He's
Yeah.
certainly proven me wrong this season. I was very, very wrong about Jaden Daniels. He's certainly exceeded my expectations, and good for him. Good for Jaden Daniels. First playoff win.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you think of Jordan Love's performance and just him overall, I guess?
It all just came apart for Green Bay. Lost Christian Watson, lost Romeo Dobbs. Josh Jacobs got banged up in the fourth quarter. I mean, it just all collapsed at the same time for Green Bay.
Yeah, they were. I mean, even if
some teams just all fell apart at the same time.
Yeah, even if they had somehow managed to win that game somehow, they weren't going to win this next round purely because of just everyone getting hurt. Especially like you said, Dobbs or Josh Jacobs getting hurt, and then they're still out with Watson. I think it was very clear they don't have a kind of go-to receiver without Watson.
Jaden Reed too, he got injured.
Yeah, Jaden Reed got injured. Yeah,
I mean,
they lost their center.
That's the team
that lost their center. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't know, but
yeah,
it's a lot. They were already behind the cue ball as you kind of want to say, but then you start losing guys mid-game, and that's not a recipe for success, really. So, do you think that Jordan Love is, kind of where would you rank him in the quarterback scheme of the league, I guess? Is he middle?
That's something I want to do at the end of the season. Rank the quarterbacks. I have fun taking some time and going through each quarterback.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll
off
chalk
the top
that
of my
up.
head, it's tough. He's definitely top 15, borderline top 10.
Really?
He's
okay. So
even
all the picks that he threw didn't kind of like waver your thought on his talent or what he could be, or is, I guess. So. What about Herbert?
I like Jordan Love. I'm a big Justin Herbert fan. Borderline top 5, not quite there.
Top 5, okay. See, I was also there with you, thinking that
like 5 to 7, that range.
I don't know. I feel like, I was right there with you. Herbert is a very talented quarterback, great player. It's just, I think we got to stop, in my opinion. I feel like me and probably other people got to stop saying like, oh, he's great because he can throw a great ball. But, it seems like when it comes down to it, he's just not winning these important games. Obviously there's a ton of factors that go into that. First year under Harbaugh, so I'm not really holding that against him. I think next year is going to be important for him and how people will and should probably perceive him as a quarterback. So we'll see. Like I said, first year under Harbaugh, I think he looked far more improved this year with a much more maybe stable coach, I guess, if you want to call it that. But I don't know. I just think that it's finally one of those things, time to shit off or get off the pot for Herbert, in my opinion,
I've always been just a Herbert fan.
Yeah. It's hard now. I mean, it's hard not to like that guy. It's just I'd like to see more from him. He's very talented. I want to see more. Show me. So I hope he does. I really do.
I mean, kind of the same thing for the Chargers. Just all kind of collapsed at once.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I said.
And they didn't have any weapon besides Vlad McConkey. It's just if you're dependent on Quentin Johnson in the playoffs, you're done. You're going home, one and done.
Yeah, and then
they couldn't get the running game going. It's just behind the cue ball, like you said.
Yeah, and if McConkey is your number one quarterback, or not quarterback, sorry, wide receiver, that's not good. I mean, he's okay. Don't get me wrong, but like, you need to have a better.
Definitely like McConkey, but you got to have a lot more options than just Vlad McConkey. If you got Quentin Johnson and DJ Chark and J.K. Dobbins,
you got to
have a little bit more in the playoffs.
I haven't looked at any of the mock draft stuff, but I wonder if they're going to be targeting a wide receiver. And first guy comes to my guy is McMillan from Arizona. Man, that would be a great addition for them if that's who
Yeah, they
people,
need a little
you
bit of
know,
help there on offense.
yeah, I again, I haven't looked at mock, so no idea. But if it wouldn't surprise me if their first guy off the board in the first round is a wide receiver, so they need it. So okay, well, I think we kind of dissected last weekend pretty well there. Both you and I did
Yeah,
really,
so nothing
really
really
well.
surprised me
Yeah,
overall.
yeah,
I mean, I was on the Chargers. I like the Chargers over the Texans, but obviously not surprised at all that the Texans won.
yeah. And both of the teasers that we gave out, they hit relatively sweat free, so no big deal there. I just think it was one of those things that you don't overthink it type of thing, right?
Yeah.
So again, we'll get into it for the slate this
Like 4
weekend.
games.
Yeah, 4 games.
I wish
2
we had
on.
a 12 games Sunday slate. It's a
Yes.
lot different preparing for 4 games compared to 14 games.
Yeah, and you know what? This is the time of year you always say it is as the games get whittled down here, the books only get sharper.
Oh,
So
definitely.
trying to find a spot becomes very, very difficult. I guess
Unless
if
you're
you're
on the
talking,
obvious.
yeah, when you're
Just
talking
bet
about like,
Saquon or Derrick Henry and hope for the best.
yeah, but when you're talking about some things like last week that we're gaining a real advantage, like Bo Nix rushing yards, right? That line was just incorrect. But you can't make it in the 30s. You just can't. So, we got to be careful. We got to tread lightly. We got to be smart about our picks here. And I think that's what we'll do. So let's just go ahead and get into it and talk about the games we have on Saturday. So the first 2 games we kind of already, just briefly brought up was the Texans are going to Kansas City, and we got the Commanders going to Detroit. Let's get into this Chiefs-Texans game. What's your first, thoughts on this game here?
As soon as the lines were out, I teased the Chiefs down to, I think, -1.5. Then I teased them with the Ravens to get the +7.5. It was prime teaser territory to get the 6-point teaser there.
Yep.
But the more I think about it, the more I do like Houston. I really do think that the Texans can hang around here. But if you've watched the Kansas City Chiefs game over the last 6 seasons, you have a good idea how this game might end. Chiefs under a field goal seems like a pretty easy teaser spot for me. Just got to live with the results. I honestly might tease both sides just because at +8.5, you can get a +14.5 on Houston.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a Kansas City wins by 3 kind of game.
Yeah, I don't think this is a real blowout game. I think.
Oh, definitely not.
Especially not with what we've seen from Kansas City this year.
I may just tease both sides and cash both.
I think this is, one of those spots that you said is don't overthink it. I know that's what I did as well. I believe I'm trying to remember. I got to go back into my note here to see what I did. So I did essentially the same thing. Yeah, I teased Kansas City down to 1.5. I took the Bills +7.5, and I took Detroit -2.5. So one thing I actually tweeted out about that was I think you could probably take the Bills or the Ravens +7.5 either way, and I think you probably cash both ways because I think this game is 3 points either way, personally. Maximum 7, obviously. So it's obviously I think you tweeted out something similar, or was that this is going to be kind of the game of definitely the game of the divisional round, if not perhaps arguing kind of right up there for
I think
game
that's the
of
best
the
game
year.
of the season.
Yeah, it could be.
Bills.
Yeah, very well could be.
That game of the season potential.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So, it's going to, in my opinion, it probably comes down to last possession, who can go down and maybe make a field goal or a touchdown. So, it was like I said, it's one of those things that, and you've said it too, is let's just not overthink it here. Let's not make this harder than it has to be. But, I guess the one thing I've kind of been kicking around, and I'm not so sure why, but you have Pacheco and Hunt down here at 41 and 31 and a half yards. I thought those were kind of low. What did you think when you saw those? You might have. Did you hear me since you were taking your headphones out?
Can't hear shit.
Yeah. How about now? You got me?
I'm good now. I couldn't hear shit.
Yeah, okay. So what I was saying was, one thing that kind of stuck out to me right away that I was kind of questioning was I saw Pacheco and Hunt at 41 and 31, and I thought those seemed kind of low. What do you think about those lines? Do you think they're fair or?
Pacheco opened like 35 and a half. He got bet up quite a bit.
Yeah.
2 yards.
I saw that, and actually I was disappointed, I guess, that I didn't lock that in. But when I saw it, I was like, that's weird. That's really fucking low. The only thing I noticed was that the last time that they played, which was back in December, he only got 26 yards. I didn't really look past that.
Yeah, it's been a pretty split backfield right now with Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. You kind of have to guess. I mean, I would lean Pacheco over Kareem Hunt. I feel like he's certainly the much better back, especially in this point of their careers. But Andy Reid's talking about going to split backfield and splitting carries, and I guess they ride with the hot hand. And I would assume that'd be Pacheco, but yeah, I don't like how much Kareem Hunt's been involved this season.
Yeah,
Pacheco's been back.
And it's a little skewed, I guess, because if you look at props.cash here, and you're looking at the rush attempts for, say, Pacheco, we'll come up here. The last 3 games, he's gone way under, right? So, 32, 26, and 18. But some of these last games here that he didn't really need to do a whole lot. They were kind of already had a spot wrapped up. But if, you look at his rush attempts, 13, 9, and 6. And Hunt, where's it? I think I went past it. Hunt's 13, 11, and 9, right? So I agree. You're probably almost guessing. The only thing you could say is Hunt had the better game. Yeah, Hunt had the better game last time, I guess. But
I think that was Pacheco's first game back, wasn't it?
Yeah, see, that's what I didn't remember. I didn't remember when his first game back was when he came off injury.
I think that was it.
Which would make sense. First game back, you're not going to run him in the ground. So, I don't know. Maybe it's a live spot. Probably is what I would go with there. Kind of just take a look to see how maybe they're utilizing them after that first quarter. Hopefully no one busts one out. And you may catch a good line there.
I like a Chiefs running back in this game. I missed the best number, it looks like.
For who? Sorry?
Samaje Perine receiving yards.
Oh, yeah.
Samaje Perine. I think that was like 7.5. Now it's 9.5. It's still probably playable there, but
yeah.
The other Chiefs running back, they like to use Perine too in the receiving game.
Yep, out of the backfield. Yeah. They always show too much. The problem I have with him is they always show too much. When he's in, he just rarely runs it. So it's like you're hoping that he runs a route and he's not blocking, essentially.
Yeah, but the Chiefs are one of those teams that are a little bit weird with their running backs.
Yeah.
Where they split carries, split touches.
Mm-hmm.
Samaje Perine gets so much of the receiving game, passing work.
I guess if I was going to go with a running back for the Chiefs, I think I'd probably go Hunt. He seems to.
I feel like you have to do a little bit of guessing here to
mm-hmm.
try to figure that out. I usually don't try to guess like that. I feel like a good read either way. I feel like Pacheco's certainly the best running back there they have, but
yeah, in terms of running, for sure.
Could be a live betting spot for sure.
Yeah.
with any of those running backs.
I just want to say, like, again, Hunt, but that again, this was probably that game Pacheco was coming off injury. 24 yards against them. Other than Pittsburgh, you could probably call that an outlier, but
I guess that wasn't the first game.
I just like that he's normally catching. He's averaging 2.5 targets. It's not bad. You're not really asking for a lot. The only thing I guess you could probably it'd be interesting to look at is when he's catching those targets. Oops. So you could say first quarter there, second. Boy, yeah. If he doesn't get it after the first, seems like he may not even get it the second or the third. Maybe you could maybe snipe something in the fourth, but it'd be a huge risk in the fourth quarter, depending on what the score of the game was. But maybe after a drive or two, Hunt's line will come down a decent amount that you could, I don't know, you could catch it at like 3.5 or something. But there's just nothing really on this particular game that's jumping out at me that I just feel like's a crazy good value spot.
I feel like I usually don't bet the Chiefs. I feel like you have to do a lot of guessing to try to figure out the Chiefs. The rushing and receiving game.
Yep.
A lot of options in the receiving game. You got to pick the right one. I've seen a lot of Xavier Worthy, but I like Hollywood Brown a lot. And DeAndre Hopkins is a veteran. I mean, of course, you got Travis Kelce and Noah Gray. I mean, there's a lot of options. You have to do a little bit more guessing, I feel like, with the Chiefs and some of these teams.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to like the Texans, you know that Joe Mixon's going to get the rushing attempts and Nico Collins will get the receiving work.
Yeah.
Whether or not they have success or not, they're certainly going to have the opportunities.
Yep. Yeah, no, I agree.
Nobody's splitting carries with Joe Mixon.
The Chiefs that's one thing the Chiefs really have going for them is they're not afraid to spread the ball around.
I mean, that's a good thing. Not good betting wise, I feel like.
Oh, yeah, it's horrid.
Of course, real life is a good thing.
That's interesting you brought up Hopkins because that was one guy I thought receiving too was I wonder how much a guy who's a veteran like that, who's in terms of the receiving core is maybe going to be targeted a little more because he's going to sharpen up just a touch, right? Run better routes, know what he's getting more accustomed to Patrick. So, are they finally kind of going to be really, really in sync? I don't know. It's an interesting spot to say the least. And, obviously he's been other than the last game there, he's been kind of averaging right around, 30 some yards a game. So it's not a bad spot. I think if you could, again, I hate saying it, but it would be a decent live spot. So I think I've probably flushed everything I know out of this game. What about you?
Maybe Joe Mixon receiving yards.
Yeah.
Could be a nice spot. Chiefs, of course, are great against the run, but they're going to get Joe Mixon involved any way they can and might have to be in the receiving game.
Yeah, I think.
Actually, is Joe Mixon's receiving line now. So around 20, 17 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another good live betting spot, especially if Kansas City goes up 7-0.
Yeah, my thought on Mixon is going to be a lot like Aaron Jones last week on Monday, right?
Yeah.
If the Chiefs are getting home, take Mixon's receiving yards because they're going to start dumping it out of the back. And I don't think Stroud is far better than Sam Darnold. He's probably not going to be missing those dump offs. So,
that's the thing. The more I think about this game, the more I think Houston really does have a good chance to win this game. I don't know about a good chance, but a reasonable chance to win this game. Or definitely cover. I'll take the Texans plus 8.5 on the spread. I'm not betting the spread, but the more I think about it, I do think Houston's going to hang around, and then there's going to be a phantom pass interference call or something or holding. We know how that goes. It's going to be something. We know how Kansas City. How the Kansas City games go, but
What do you think about the over/under? What's the line
is it
at?
41.5 still?
Yeah, 41 and a
I
half.
think it was 42.5, but yeah, that's a low total. It's gonna be cold as hell in Kansas City. It's gonna be like 15 degrees or something. Had the weather pulled up earlier.
Oh, bro, don't even remind me. It's
High of
fuck.
24, but it's gonna be going down by second half for sure.
Yeah, so well, here's what's happening. So tomorrow for me out here in Colorado, it's going to be 44 for the high, but the low will be 9, and it's going to start snowing. We're going to get 5 inches of snow Saturday. So you got to think everything that I'm saying is like a day delayed for a place like Kansas City. Saturday, it's going to still be snowing for me, but the high is 12 degrees, a low of -7, and Sunday is a high of 12 with a low of -4. So essentially, Saturday's weather is going to be there in Kansas City. So yeah, it's going to be a cold motherfucker.
Yeah.
No
snow though.
No, I don't think there's snow in the forecast.
Not
that's
in
just
Kansas City.
Yeah, that's just stuff we're getting.
Could be on Sunday. Good chance for 2 snow games on Sunday.
That's just the snow here
Not
is just
very likely, but a chance.
Yeah. That the snow is just local to here because of the mountains, right? So
yeah,
like you said, high of 15 for Kansas City, and the game's at 2:30. So roughly about game time, you're talking. Oops, go over here to Sunday. 2:30 my time, Mountain Time. So that's about 15 degrees, and it's gonna feel like 0 with the wind.
Yeah. That's Isaiah Pacheco weather.
That is Isaiah Pacheco weather. You're damn right. So it's
honestly at 41.5, that still probably is too low for Pacheco.
Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. The reason I asked you that was the bet breakdown. So no surprise here. 88% of the bets make up 95% of the money on the money line. Not surprising. 70% of the bets make up 79% on the spread. So that's a little more surprising than I would have thought. And then for the over/under, 63% of the bets make up 63% of the money on the under. So definitely leaning under for that game. When they go low, you go lower.
Yeah.
So
no, I do like the under there.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do too. I got Kansas City
touchdown
winning.
Score props. It's like plus 150 and higher.
Oops.
So that definitely screams under. Not very many touchdowns. Plus 145 for Mixon, and good luck picking one of those Chiefs. You got to figure it's going to be Mixon or Collins that scores for Houston, but man, there's like 10 guys that can score for Kansas City.
Yeah.
And that's not even counting Noah Gray. If you scroll way down, probably plus 600 or whatever.
500.
Or Mahomes running one in. Yeah, plus 550.
Yeah, the problem
Justin
is
Watson and Piron could score. I mean, they have 10 guys that can score.
Texans
is probably going to be either Collins or Mixon. Very good chance it's one of those 2 guys.
Yep. What I was going to say is the problem is when they get down by the goal line, people tend to think, oh, running back, right? But the Chiefs aren't that way. They don't give a shit. They'll fucking run some weird screen play or whatever, like a underneath. Actually, one of their favorite plays to run down there is that little where they motion Kelsey across and then they hike it and he acts like he's going to hand it off to a running back, and then he turns around and he throws it forward to Kelsey, who just kind of cuts up behind a guard for a score.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's something to think about. But yeah, you're still guessing. So
I mean, you guess most of the time with touchdown props. There's a lot of guessing involved with touchdowns, as opposed to yards or whatever. But you can do Nico Collins or Joe Mixon at minus 175 to score. That could be a parlay piece for me.
Yeah.
Nico Collins or Joe Mixon to score.
Oh, is that one of those? Scroll down here. The either.
Either player to score.
Oops. Yeah, either player.
Collins or Mixon. I mean, or any of those options with Pacheco. But you have to imagine there's a very good chance that one of those two are going to score for the Texans.
Yeah, I was gonna say the problem with this is there's so many fucking guys. I was trying to see if there's anything with. They don't have anything with.
Yeah, there's no
Mahomes.
like crazy lotto ones.
Yeah,
It's the chalky guys.
dumb.
Yeah, you can't do Justin Watson or Patrick Mahomes.
What
Yeah, I
about
want a
the
little
first-
lotto one for that.
You also don't see. Oh, yeah, there you go. I was gonna say you don't even see a chief player, but you do here.
Yeah, so I mean, this is probably maybe the toughest game to bet prop wise.
Yeah,
These Texans, especially with that low total, I feel like it goes under.
yeah. That's really the only thing I would feel, other than that's a value. Minus 450 isn't great, but I would go under for that game. So
Yeah,
we'll move on.
Commanders and Lions should have a lot more touchdowns, a lot more points.
Yeah.
If you see those touchdown odds, they fixed it a little bit. It's playable now. Now that Montgomery's officially ruled in, he's off the injury report.
Surprised his line's at. I guess.
I think Montgomery's scoring. I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like these are wrong.
Scoring. I mean,
I'd flip these personally.
Flip that. Yeah, Montgomery's scoring this week.
Yeah, he
I mean, Gibbs probably is too, but Montgomery's first touchdown plus 500. That's free as fuck. It's gonna hit. Congrats, Montgomery first touchdown betters. Never had any first touchdown bet. Don't get smart with Tim Patrick or whoever.
Yeah, don't be stupid about it.
Brock Wright.
The best
Montgomery 2-yard run.
Yep. The best odds for Montgomery anytime TD is 365 at minus 150. Next is DK at 155.
Can you see first touchdown? I can check on Pickett. That's first touchdown odds.
Yeah, you can look on Pickett.
Because I'm going to bet him first touchdown. I can tell you that much. Probably put him in a parlay or round robin.
550.
Maybe even sprinkle it straight, but plus 550 first.
Yeah, on DK. He's pretty
much
about
as confident as he can be in a first touchdown score, I feel like.
Yeah.
If they had their pick, it's certainly going to be Montgomery 2-yard run.
Something
they
to
got
do.
The guy back. That's Dan Campbell's guy. He fucking loves him. He's the heart of the Lions, heart of that offense.
Yeah. Absolute fucking.
We thought he was going to be gone for the season, but man, he only missed a month.
Well, I don't know if I text this to you. I know I texted to one of my friends that still lives in the Detroit metro area. Was that because he actually sent me the message about that Montgomery was in or whatever, and I kind of did like a fake message from like say Aaron or Shefty or whatever, where it's like David Montgomery to undergo season postseason surgery regarding a tear that took place during the regular season. I almost guarantee it. If I had to put odds on it, that motherfucker's minus 700. I'm almost positive. I'm almost positive he probably has some type of minor tear. Would be my guess. He has a minor tear somewhere that he got told, look, you got to have surgery anyways, but you can still play. So it's up to you. And he's like, oh, I'm fucking playing, right?
Because
why would
three wins and I'm a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, why would you not, right? You're not – if you're going to have surgery anyways, fuck it. It's not going to change anything. You're still going under the knife. So if he gets hurt again or he gets hurt worse, honestly, it doesn't change anything in my opinion. Like if the tear gets bigger, again, this is just me.
Maybe that's not true, but
yeah, I mean, obviously it could be worse, but the likelihood is probably not that great, right? So I guess what I'm saying is he still has to go under the knife no matter what. So again, assuming
definitely possible.
Yeah. Or you know what? I mean, Montgomery's a fucking beast. He may go all the way to the Super Bowl, get a ring, and then that news comes out, assuming, and you're just like, wow, that guy fucking played 3 games with a tear, some type of minor tear. But I don't know. I've never felt more confident about an upcoming tweet after the season is that we'll be finding out that David Montgomery had some type of tear. So,
Well, that was Jalen Hurts last year.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly the same fucking thing.
And he
Right.
couldn't even sprint anymore.
Nope. I should have wrote that down. I'll do that maybe after this. But yeah, this game's loaded with absolute props, in my opinion. I even think David's line is too low.
And that was like 38.5 too.
Yeah, that's the thing is
When he was still questionable, he was like 38.5.
Yeah, I'd still play him at what he's at now because I just think Dan Campbell's it's like you said, it's his guy. He's going to use him. Why kind of baby him, I guess, unless you're blowing the shit out of him. But I think we've all seen what Dan Campbell does in blowouts. He doesn't give a shit. So now, granted,
I think he'd be cautious this game if he could be.
Yeah.
With Montgomery.
11.5.
11.5 attempts.
Yeah. I'm curious about if you look at his utilization.
I missed Jaden Daniels' attempts. It was 8.5. I'm upset I missed that line. I like Jaden Daniels rushing.
Yeah, I do too. Against this defense,
I can't believe that was 8.5 and I missed it. I don't think it was 8.5 for very long. I think it moved in like 20 minutes, but
it's 9.5 already, and he's.
Yeah, I'm sure he still goes over that 9.5, but
yeah,
I like Daniels rushing.
It's just juice to the tits.
With the attempts.
Did they play this year? No, they didn't. I didn't think so. But you could probably if you. Where's his games where he's gone? Rush attempts. I mean, he actually, 9-9, 17, 12, 15. I feel like even 11.5 is probably. I mean, he's gone under those yards there, but with those rush attempts. But I feel like that's probably, if I was going to play Montgomery, excuse me, probably be his rush attempts.
I still like Jahmyr Gibbs.
I mean, Gibbs is a weapon. There's just no way around it. But, yeah, I don't know.
And Austin Eckler, too, for the Washington side. I like Eckler.
Yeah.
Especially over Robinson for this matchup.
I think any kind of running.
Probably Eckler receiving or combined line.
Yeah. One thing I wouldn't be doing, though, is not passing. Sorry, receiving. I'm not sure. I don't think I'd be playing Terry McLaurin. I think he kind of gets a lot. I think they put a lot of pressure, maybe bracket him a lot. And, at 68.5, I think they try and go somewhere else. What about Eckler's receiving? What do you think about that?
Or receptions. I like Eckler. Some way you can bet Eckler.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's the play over Robinson.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I
3.5.
Jesus.
But yeah, I think Eckler's definitely the play for the Washington side, especially the running backs.
He's only gone over 3.5.
De'Ami Brown was great last week. He was drafted ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown, and St. Brown certainly is very aware of that. Yeah. If you like narratives, there's a narrative for you.
For St. Brown
went off the last time he played Washington because of De'Ami Brown.
Yep. He'd probably be St. Brown would be my go-to receiver in this particular game. he really balled out the last few games here. He got 77 versus Minnesota. And like you said, the last time they even played Washington, he had like 116 yards. So, but that was a few years ago. So,
Yeah, he
I
holds
think
the
this.
benches against some of those teams.
Yeah,
Drafted a receiver that, not him, De'Ami Brown over St. Brown. De'Ami Brown was outstanding maybe his best game of his career last week against Tampa. Good for De'Ami Brown. Not sure why he was drafted that high, especially in hindsight, coming out of UNC, but good for him.
Yeah. I'm also going to write down St. Brown. I might try and catch St. Brown live. Not sure it's going to be possible. I think they're going to target him early and often. But if I can catch him at slightly lower, that would be ideal. Maybe I can catch him at 69. Beat it right under that 70-yard mark, which would be good. But what was Montgomery? So 45.5. Yeah, I don't know. Again, we've talked about it. The lines are just so sharp right now. It's going to be hard for me to lock anything in pre-game just because of how sharp the lines truly are. So,
yeah.
And I'm even looking for unders if they're there. I'm just not – I haven't really seen a great under spot either.
Yeah, bet Jamison Williams under, see how fun that is.
Yeah. Dude could pick up fucking 56 yards on one play. So should be a great game. I think there's
honestly Goff under passing yards, but I'm not betting that.
Fuck no, I'm not betting that.
It's like 270. 271 and a half up. Yeah, I'm not betting the under, but
no.
I mean, if you're looking for under, that could be a spot, but yeah, I'm not doing that.
I think you're just asking for.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah. The only like really, I don't know. I looked at Jaden Daniels over passing yards because the last game versus the Bucks, he got 268 and not Denver, sorry, Detroit's defense is not great given its injuries that it has. So that would kind of be the only spot I'd really lean there, I guess. 234 seems kind of low, especially given how I feel the game goes in terms of the Commanders being behind and likely needing to pass the ball or have Daniels scramble out.
Yeah, I think he's running either way, no matter what the game script is.
Yeah, he's going to run.
I think he's going to break a couple.
He's so fast, too. So, all right.
I believe he's almost more than any other quarterback.
I think
it's not a bad thing given his talent, but
yeah, we beat that game to death, so we'll move on. Rams and the Eagles. I think this is going to be the second best game, in my opinion, of the weekend, especially after what we saw.
Keep an eye on that weather.
Yes.
Chance for snow on Sunday.
Got a very sexual snow game. Oh my God! Please.
Good potential for a snow game. It's going to be cold either way.
I'm a slut for a snow game.
Chance for snow.
Give me a rundown on this game. What's your thoughts other than, potential for a snow game?
Yeah, if you're looking for unders, I'm sure you can find a couple unders right there. Hurts and Stafford under. Especially if we get some weather. I mean, Hurts flew under his lines last week. All of them, especially the passing. I mean, just feed Saquon. This game right here is why they got Saquon. Of course, he was excellent all season, but this game right here is why you brought Saquon to Philly.
Yep.
And his line's like 114 and a half. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm going to bet Saquon in some capacity. I like his most rushing yards. Combine that with Derrick Henry most rushing yards. I did that last week and bet won very, very easily.
Yep. I wish there was a
Yeah,
filter.
keep an eye on that weather. Keep an eye on that passing game. Of course, either way, Saquon's the play for Philly. And
My
Hurts
only
came back from a month off and they
yeah,
weren't throwing very much, and perhaps he didn't look his best. I mean, they didn't. Of course, they didn't throw. You can't. It's hard to tell, but yeah, they're going to be feeding Saquon the rest of these playoffs, especially with the weather forecast.
and just for reference, the last time they played in November, he got 179 yards. So Hurts was way under that line. I think that's probably the guy I'm going to lock in. I will lock
Hurts
in for
under?
Yeah, Hurts under passing.
The yards or the attempts?
Passing yards. I'm not sure what to think about his rushing this game, given the potential for weather.
Well, yeah, do the passing over the rushing this week.
Yeah, you mean his pass attempts? Sorry.
Yeah, passing attempts.
Sorry, I misunderstood you. I actually, to be honest, I didn't even look at that. That might be, I'm seeing 25.5 on ESPN Bet. That's not a bad line. 25.5. Wow. He had 22. My only concern would be if he got under or if they got slightly behind. If they, I guess obviously you could do it in a loss. And he's in the 30s on a loss. Not a good look, but I think just with the weather, I'll probably still play his yards. Seems like the best line you can get is 205 on Bet365. Everywhere else, he's about 204 to 203. So,
well, I've got that your way thing now, so I can bump that line up a little bit if I want.
Oh, that's true. I was trying to find a good. Not everyone has that, so I was trying to give the people some, something to play here. Yeah, I'll probably play his under yards. I'm not sure how he's, like you said, the weather is going to play such a factor in this game. I think that, like you said, this is the reason you got Saquon. Feed him. Do exactly what you did last week. Feed him. Just for what they know.
He's going to break one eventually.
Saquon? Yeah.
Line's at 21.5 attempts. He gets 20 attempts. He's breaking one.
Speaking of Saquon, how about last week when he busted one and he could have scored? Imagine if you had Saquon anytime TD in a lotto, how sick you felt.
Yeah, I did need him to score.
Oh my God, dude! He broke out and he said, "Nah, I'm good," and he slid down. That was, it was the right
move. Would have hit a play for me if he scored.
Yeah,
I needed Saquon or Jalen Hurts to score, and it was a correct football play to go down.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But it pissed off a lot of people, that's for sure.
Yeah, correct football play or football move, but pissed
a lot of people off.
Yeah, you weren't making friends by doing that move, man. Actually, what do you think about Hurts under first quarter passing yards?
Could be a good look.
I feel like if you're gonna do this under, if you're the Eagles, right? You want to get the ground game
out in the first quarter.
Yeah, you want to get the ground game going early. Same thing they did last. The last game. He had. Where's the pass attempts? He had 9 pass attempts. Man,
they could throw a little bit early, try to get Devontae involved and AJ Brown. Of course, AJ Brown was reading on the sidelines and had one catch, so people kind of overreacting to that.
Yeah,
I do think they might throw a little bit more early. They could.
I didn't.
I don't think Brown gives a shit at all, especially if they win. But people are making a big deal out of nothing with the Eagles.
Yeah, I guess I didn't have a
If they
problem.
lose, of course, it's gonna be a huge deal. But
Yeah,
I don't think anyone gives a shit actually.
I did. I guess I didn't care that he was reading. I thought it was whatever.
Well, I mean, if they lose and he's doing that shit, yeah, they're gonna.
Well,
sure
yeah,
problem with
you
it.
know, that's a different thing, right? If you're losing and you're over there fucking reading, yeah.
I mean, apparently he's done that throughout his career to do that, but
yeah,
it's not on camera every time he's doing it. It's happened to be on camera, and
did you hear that? And yeah, I'm sure
It's a
you saw the
non-story.
book that he was reading. It's like like a mental empowerment book.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he's
apparently
over
he's
there.
done that throughout his career.
Yeah, it's not like he was over there reading some fucking fantasy.
Reading Harry
novel.
Potter.
Yeah. So, or like whatever.
That helps him, getting to stay in the right mindset.
Yeah. Who cares,
Do
man?
whatever the hell you have to on the sideline. But of course, I'm an Eagles fan and a huge AJ Brown fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess I don't mind. 47, man, you were just. I don't know. I might kick that around. There's some stuff. I think that's a decent play too, for people if they don't like Hurts overall under passing. I might
I'd rather the full game over first quarter.
Would you? Okay. Well,
Yeah. Just because I do think they try to get the passing game going as early as they can.
Yeah. And a lot of that, especially in that first quarter, it could depend on what the Rams think that the Eagles are going to do. They may try to drop the fuck out of the line of scrimmage to try and stop Saquon early, right? So then they just pass the ball. So.
And there's a lot of narratives about Jalen Hurts. I think I'm a lot higher on Jalen Hurts than most people are in this day and age, 2025.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely think Hurts is a top 10 quarterback, but the way some people have been talking about Jalen Hurts, I don't know if they would say that. Borderline top 5.
He's
not
really
quite
good.
there, but top 10 for sure.
He's in my top 10, so not that anyone gives a shit.
Right outside that top 5.
Yeah. Not that anyone
Top
cares
10
what my
for sure.
top 10 is, but I'm just saying.
The top 4 is very clear after that. You got the Jalen Hurts and Herbert and Stroud, Jordan Love.
What? Wait, you have Love in the top 5?
No, I said after the top 4.
Oh, sorry.
Then you got Herbert, Love, Stroud, Hurts.
Sure. Last game of the night. Well, day, I guess. Well, it's day for me, night for Eastern time people, and where the game's held at. Ravens are going to the Bills, as Lucas said, potential game of the year on the line here.
Snow potential.
1.5 spread for the Ravens. Bills haven't been a home underdog in quite a few years, maybe a couple of years actually. I think is the stat I saw. So, kind of tells you what the books think. Yep. Give me a breakdown here on this game on what you think. Oh, you know what? I forgot to ask you who you got winning the Eagles Rams. Sorry.
Eagles, but I think it's going to be a very close game.
Yep. Okay.
I'll bet the Rams spread. I bet them plus 6.5 in the spread, but I do like the Eagles to win.
Just for the people who care.
Something lower scoring.
Yeah, just for the actually
23-20 type. 2017.
There is an edge there. So just because some people do care about this, I like this information on the Rams Eagles. No surprise, 72% of the bets make up 85% of the money line. Now, when you move to the spread, it's about 50-50. 52% of the bets make up 56% of the money. So not a real great advantage. Now, this next one is where I think you'd really want to maybe kind of lock in. Is you see 62% of the bets making up 77% of the money on the under. So people, looks like big sharp money on the under there. So wouldn't be a bad spot there, I guess, in my opinion. But yeah, I got the Eagles winning. They're at home. That's obviously that matters. So I think they sneak out of there with a win. Could be a
It is
3-point
tough for
game.
the Rams. They're on a short week, travel cross country.
Yeah,
It's
could
another
be a
disadvantage
3-point
for
game.
them.
So
Would not be
All
shocked
right.
at all if the Rams won.
yeah, if they play like they did last week, I will not be shocked at all.
And I think the Rams could beat anybody in the league, really.
Yeah. We'll go back.
I'm
Sorry.
afraid of any team.
Yeah, I
They'll
didn't
line up against anybody.
I didn't mean to interrupt that one, but we'll go back now. I forgot to get your pick on that one. So we'll go back to the Ravens and Bills. Give me the breakdown. Sorry. Go ahead.
I like the Ravens all season. I'm not going to stop now. It's that simple
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, both you and I have the Ravens in the Super Bowl, so we both like them to go in, to Buffalo and get this win. Man, it's going to be a fucking good game, I think. I really kind of hope it
This might be the
doesn't.
best game of the entire season.
I really kind of hope it doesn't snow.
The next week at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, if it snows, it's really going to mess up the game plan a lot, and it may turn into a run fest, and it's not going to be that exciting, I guess. But
Yeah.
so I kind of
I don't think it's going to be a huge snow game if there is snow.
Yeah, like flurries.
Of course, it's still 3 days out, but yeah, I think it's going to be more like flurries, not anything
Yeah.
crazy. It's going to be cold as hell, that's for sure, but I don't think the snow is extremely likely. And if it is, it's probably just flurries. So I don't think it's going to be like anything to really impact the game too much.
Yeah, which is hard to
Trying to
believe.
tackle Derrick Henry. It's not fun when it's 80 degrees. It's probably not fun when it's 10 degrees.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna fucking feel even worse, right? So,
this is why you got Derrick Henry for this game right here.
absolutely, I could not agree more. And the props on this game say the same thing. His line's at fucking 96.5. So
Just fucking feed Derrick Henry. Just
Yeah,
don't even
I mean,
overthink it.
they're just gonna feed the shit out of him, and they should. So,
This game right here is why you got Derrick Henry. I think they're going to beat Kansas City. I think whoever wins this game beats Kansas City, but we
yeah.
can talk about that next week.
My only concern on this particular game is I wonder how much they're going to run Lamar because it being cold, there is a higher chance for injury. Guys get tight. I wonder if they try to not utilize him in the run as much to try and keep him. You don't want to look ahead, but you kind of got to look ahead a little bit, right? Keep your guy fresh, and hopefully he may not get hurt, but if you pull like a hamstring or something on like a read option play, that's really going to hinder you come next week if they make it there. And I don't know. I just wonder if they will try to just really only feed Henry and keep Lamar's touches down. The line obviously is 9.5 and it's favored to the under.
It was 7.5. I'm very disappointed I missed that.
7.5.
Like
7.5 was too low. That's too low.
Yeah, it was like minus 140.
Yeah.
Same thing with Josh Allen. That moved up another attempt. They're both very juiced at 7.5 attempts.
Yeah.
I like both the quarterbacks rushing, actually, especially with the weather potential.
Yeah, so
Josh Allen lives with that kind of game.
I love Josh Allen's rushing shot here.
You think
I guess
he scores?
Yes.
Josh Allen?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do like Josh Allen to score.
He would be my obviously behind Henry, which I'm sure I haven't even looked at the TD odds.
Minus
sure
210 for Henry.
Yeah, good.
Allen's
That's gross.
Plus 105.
Plus 105 for Allen. He would be my go. If you're talking about a great better value pick, it's Josh Allen in my opinion.
I'm sure if you've got to pick one, it's Derrick Henry, but
yeah,
for a plus money, Josh Allen.
Yeah, I'm not.
You risk your life on one player to score a touchdown this week. Who you betting your life on?
Derrick Henry. Yeah.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, it's a Derrick Henry who I'm putting
my
hands on him in his fucking gigantic frame. telling his 260-pound fucking ass to go score and save my life.
And he's talking shit too. I mean, this is why he came to Baltimore. He wants to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I mean, going to Tennessee, and he could have gone to a lot of different teams. Could have gone to the Cowboys. Could have gone to, I think, the Jets, and chose the Ravens.
Cheap ass Jerry, man.
Cheap ass Jerry. He chose the Ravens. He wanted to play with Lamar. He thought Lamar could take him to the Super Bowl, and Derrick Henry's going to be the difference.
I think we both think that is true as well. So,
I mean, even as the Temps line, it's 19.5. Of course, I think some of Lamar is going to eat into that with the line at 19.5. But you got to imagine there's almost no way he gets less than 19 carries.
I don't see how he does.
What kind of scenario is there where he does not get 20 carries? I mean, either he gets injured or they're winning by 3-4 touchdowns, which obviously would never hope for an injury, but I can't imagine this game's going to be a blowout. Like you said, you could probably cheese either side.
Yeah.
Get either side to plus 7.5.
You know something?
I can imagine anybody's going to win by more than a touchdown.
Because we're over here talking rushing, what's your thoughts on Lamar underpassing?
I mean, it correlates there.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I like Lamar over rushing, underpassing.
You like his over 9.5?
Over rushing. I mean, I certainly went with the under on rushing.
Yeah. I'm just curious on Lamar's. What's his line look like?
Depends what his mom tells him this week. If his mom tells him to run more.
See, Lamar ran it 15 times last game. That's a lot.
He was running it so well last week.
Yeah.
Because they were all in on Derrick Henry. So every time he'd keep it on the read option, on the replay, have 7 yards of space.
Right. And you may see the same thing again.
Can't imagine that's going to quite happen this week against Buffalo, but yeah, he was running it so well last week. Defense is all worried about Derrick Henry, and Lamar had plenty of room to run.
Earlier this year, I only ran it 6 times. I don't know.
Last September.
I'm actually more talking. Yeah, I'm more talking myself out of Lamar's rush attempts now, because I was kind of thinking they may say, look, yeah, you ran it 15 times. It's going to be cold as fuck. Don't tweak your goddamn hamstring or something on a fucking read option. Just give the ball to Derrick. So
I think he could run it 15 times again this week.
Yeah, he very well could. If anything, like I said, I think the safer play if you're looking for something is probably his underpassing yards. I just don't see the reason why they're gonna want to risk it.
Doesn't seem like Zay Flowers to play this week.
Yeah,
I don't think it's officially been ruled out, but I don't think it's looking good for him.
Yeah.
Which would obviously help the underpassing.
Yep.
And over rushing.
So we both got the Ravens winning. What do you think? By maybe 3 points either way, probably. Who do you got? Obviously, you got the Ravens winning by about 3 points, probably either way.
I couldn't hear whatever you said. My AirPod cut out.
Yeah, I figured. I saw. But
switched to my phone. It switched again.
Yeah. So, well, it should be. I think that'll be a great game. I know probably a little disappointing, probably to the listeners, that we didn't really have any spots that we really wanted to lock in.
No, really. I only have one play right now. The Chiefs -1.5, Ravens +7.5 teaser.
Yeah, that's just. I'm the same. It's the only one I kind of got. But yeah, like we said, there's 4 games, and it's only going to get tougher as we go along here with the lines. So, look, everyone who's been listening and following us, throughout the season, first off, thank you for doing that. We really do appreciate, your support. But now is not the time to get greedy and try and push on stuff like that.
Fortunately, agree with that.
Yeah. Now is the time to be smart and calculated. And look, it's okay if you don't love a play or you don't love. There's 4 games, and you shouldn't really be going into these feeling like, oh, gotta have a play, gotta have a play. That's the wrong mindset. That loses you money. You need to be saying, you know what, I'm just not really keen on anything unless maybe a live spot, and that's what you want to do. That's what my mindset is for this week. You know, we talked about a bunch of spots there that we like the lines live. So I wrote them down, and I'm going to try and, I'm going to try and snipe one. Obviously, I'll tweet out if I lock one in. You probably will too. So I'm trying to think if there's anything we left out there that we need to talk about. I don't really have anything else. Oh, yeah, national championship. Shit, you're right. That's Monday.
Notre Dame wins. I bet Ohio State, so I hope not. I'm going to be an Ohio State fan in the next few days.
Gross saying that.
I mean, I would want Notre Dame if I didn't have money on Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Ohio State a lot.
Line's 8.5. It's pretty bloated.
Honestly, would still bet Ohio State at 8.5, but
yeah,
I'm not going to. I bet them a couple weeks ago or last week for their game. Before it was too late to bet them, I jumped on the bandwagon a little bit later. Probably should have, but I'm on the Buckeye bandwagon.
Yeah, I just
think Notre Dame has enough offense to keep up with them.
There's just not a lot that I'm like seeing that I just think is great in this game, I guess. And we don't have player props in the states that we live in. So I think Ohio State, regardless, wins this game. Ryan Day saves his job. And I say that because I don't think Riley Leonard's that great of a quarterback. I think he's going to struggle. I really do. Ohio State's a monolith, and I think they'll kind of secure another championship and move on from there. I don't really have a lot to add to this game, I guess. I don't even know if I'm going to place a bet. To be honest, I struggled really hard in college football this year, mostly because I dug myself a fucking gigantic hole at the beginning of the season that I had to just crawl my way out of, which was just absolutely rough as shit. So it was everything I could do to even get the hell out of there. So I'm just looking up here. I pulled it up. So I'm pretty much even on the year. I'm a minus 0.77 units, but the first one,
you can get it back on Monday.
Yeah, well, the first
1 unit play.
2, 3, 4. The first 5 weeks, I was minus 17 units. Horrid. And you know what? I'm not gonna hide behind that. It is what it is. After that, I locked in and thank God and crawled my way out of fucking a minus 17 unit hole to be essentially even. I think the only thing that really taught me was that with the transfer portal stuff and all this other stuff that we're seeing is that the first few weeks are way harder to peg down than I guess I thought. Maybe I was trying to get too cute with stuff. I'll need to kind of review what I did and see how I can improve. But man, pretty proud of myself to even crawl the fuck out of that hole. So I'll take it, I guess. But I'm behind you in NFL. I'm at 37 units. So I'd have to smack a nice lotto to overtake you on that. But way in the green there, so we're not going to give it back. I'm proud of where we're at. I think it should be a good weekend of games, and here's to hopefully some of these spots you write down, and we'll we'll try and catch them. Is there anything else you got?
You got to have a play on Monday night. Finish the year green. Get it all back with Ohio State.
Get it? Just absolutely nuke Ohio State. What are they?
Nuke
Minus
Ohio
370. Yeah. Nuke Ohio State minus 375. Be a terrible.
Well, if you parlay Chiefs, you get even money.
Yeah. One thing I
Chiefs,
didn't look
Lions,
is,
Ohio State money line.
yeah, I didn't see what their
I'm not recommending you do that necessarily, but I don't know who messes that up. The square play of the weekend. Chiefs, Lions, Buckeyes.
Yeah. I was trying to see they're minus 4.5 first half, so I don't really know.
No, I do like that. Ohio State first half.
Yeah, first half I feel like that's probably the play. If I'm going to play anything, it'll be that first half minus 4.5.
No, I definitely like that.
Yeah.
Under a touchdown first half.
And I say that because what we saw last week where Notre Dame was, I think they were down at the half, if I remember right. And
Yeah, they were.
yeah, that's right. My memory's not that shit. So yeah, they were down at half and came back and won that game. So I would kind of expect very similar outcome. Them to probably be down. No, not for them to win, but for them to be down and come back, make it a much tighter game. So probably the play I'll put in will be that.
Yeah, I might play that as well.
Yeah, the one thing I want to put in your brain before we go here to kind of maybe talk about next week, since there'll only be, less games even so, is your thoughts on that NCAA playoff for the college football playoff, and maybe if you were the college football commissioner, let's try to come up with 5 things you would want to change, either in the playoff or as the sport in total. So I got some things on my mind right away that I would want to change. I'll say one right now, so I won't use it next week. One thing I'd want to change for the football playoffs is the semifinals are not bowl games; they are on-campus games. Much like the NFL does, they don't have some fucking bowl game bullshit, right? They're home games; they matter. It benefits the fans and the environment, and gets rid of these nonsensical bowl games that don't need to be involved in this playoff. So I also think it's going to matter more within how you seed people and who gets these home games. So I'll kind of have to rack my brain about the seeding, because I do think there's probably maybe a little work that needs to be done there. I don't mind the buys for the conference champions personally, but I don't know. Maybe after that first round, you kind of restack teams to see how they go, should be stacked up, because Oregon did kind of get a shit matchup with Ohio State, right? So, but maybe you wouldn't be complaining if they had a home game. I don't know. Maybe it's different, but yeah, try and think of 5 things that you would want to change in college football. Either it could be rules,
Okay.
the playoffs
Yeah,
themselves.
Actually.
Yeah, so I think that'll be a fun.
Pass interference rule. Switch it to the NFL rule.
Yeah. Oh, the pass interference. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, pass interference in college. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Because in college they teach you to, if you get beat for a touchdown, just go ahead and grab and get the pass interference.
Yeah,
15 yards compared to a 40-yard penalty like the NFL.
Yep.
Not a spot foul, just a 15 yards.
That's
something I would change if I could change a rule. That's right at
one
the top
rule I would change between both of them. This will be the last thing, is the fucking fumbling through the back of the end zone where it goes to the other ball. I fucking hate that. I don't think I'm sorry. How does the defense magically get the ball in that situation? That makes no sense to me.
Don't fumble.
Well, okay. But the point is, like,
Yeah,
what if
the
you're reaching
football.
out, reaching out for the pylon and you fumble the ball, and then it, just sneaks past in front of the pylon and goes out the end zone. So you lose the ball. That makes no sense
Yeah,
to
don't
me.
fumble.
Oh God, don't. I'm changing that rule fucking immediately. It's the ball comes back to you at the spot of the foul.
Pass interference is a spot foul, not a 15-yard.
Yeah. That's a weird one too. Why that's different. Targeting, that would be one I would change too. You need to have a targeting 1, targeting 2. Or you do like the NFL does, where it's just what do they call it? Unnecessary roughness, I guess. But
Yeah,
the
we talk about
ejecting,
that. I'm sure I can think of a few.
yeah, the ejecting. It's just I don't like the ejecting of the player and then how it affects the next game. I don't like that.
Oh yeah.
So it's just ridiculous to me. So yeah, 5 things you can add. You can say one of the ones we said right now, but I'm gonna try. I want us to come up with 5 things. If Lucas, you are the football commissioner, what are some things that you want to change moving forward that you think is going to improve the sport? And I will do the same. So, all right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Probably same time, Tuesday or Wednesday. About 6:30 or so. So we probably need to be better about being more consistent with the start time, so that people can kind of maybe plan around it if they want to watch. But Lucas, I will talk to you next week.
Yep. See ya.
All right. See you, everyone.